Okay, so I want to make a video talking about basically the state of this game. I'll talk about the market trend first, because I've had someone in Trade Hub ask me to. So first off, everything in the market's kind of dipping. We've got some weird items that are recovering. So like Amethyst dipped and recovered. Then you have, Enigma that's just kind of whatever the hell this is. You have Eclipse X, which is whatever that is, and then Lotus is stable but going down. Dahlia is stable but going down. Cyber is that, whatever that is. So I guess dipping, but unsure of what the hell it wants to do while it dips. Triheat's relatively stable. Again, these like dips at the very bottom down to 60k. This is just the market being manipulated. Just ignore this. It's not worth talking about. So Gemblade is just whatever that is. So a lot of the market's just unstable. It doesn't know what it wants to do. It's going all over the place. But overall, people are buying things less than they were. So that's pretty much the whole state of things. Also, as a side note, Rainbow is like dead, and then Wrath is also dead, which is very disappointing as someone that invested into both. So I'm selling mine pretty cheap because I just want to get out of it. So it hurts for everyone that invested into it. If you did it with me, I'm sorry we all lost money, but I didn't expect the update to take over 4 months. That was not something I planned around. I figured 3 months is long enough. Hearing leaks about the update coming out means the update should be coming out, because logic says you wouldn't leave a game unupdated for this long and expect the players to still care to play it. So that was my logic largely, and then also I thought the rumors were credible. There hasn't been a playtest in a long time, from what I heard. Someone commented that the playtesters haven't done anything for like a month. So don't expect the game to be getting worked on or anything to happen anytime soon. If there's more playtests and you hear leaks of that, then I would guess the update's actually going to be released at a reasonable time within the test starting up again. But who knows? So that's the market stuff. That's the state of where we're waiting on the update. Then the other thing I want to talk about is Anime Defenders, which yes, I know we're all Deathball players. Who cares about Anime Defenders? It's a smelly game, and we should all be unhappy it exists. I completely agree. I wish he just didn't make the project and we just kept updating this game, but he didn't. So we're here now. Uh, the main thing I want to talk about as far as Anime Defenders goes is at this morning, update 2 came out for that game, which yes, they've released 2 major updates since that came out, and we haven't gotten anything. We haven't even got a screenshot of sneaks. So we aren't even a priority. It's not about being second priority. We aren't a priority because he said that on the 26th of last month, 26th of May, that we would be getting sneaks within that week. It's the 16th of June when I'm recording this. It's going to be either the 17th or 18th when I post this. I don't know when I'm going to post it. But it's been way too long. We're not getting sneaks. The update isn't coming. We shouldn't expect it to be coming. So that's the basic state we're in as far as that goes. But Anime Defenders is not doing very well. There's a lot of problems with it. It has a massive AFK farming issue, which they fixed in a really bad way. They added captchas in, so now you have to type random letters when you go into a mission, which anyone knows the captcha is basically proving you're not a robot. It'd be the same as like click on the icons that are a traffic light. It's that kind of captcha. So it's just really irritating and it doesn't belong in a Roblox game. It'll probably fix the issue, but if the other tower defense games don't have an alt farming problem, people don't want to deal with a captcha constantly that are legit players. So, like, it's just not going to do very well. It would be better if they had never added a trading system to it because they've had so many issues because of that trading system. But that's my opinion. And I say that as someone that likes trading. And then, as well, for trading, they added in a limit. So you can only buy, sell, and trade a certain amount of times every 8 hours. And The only way you can increase that amount every 8 hours is by giving them money. If you give them Robux, they'll give you more trades. That's the only way to get more trades, which is incredibly stupid. It's like impressively stupid that they thought that's a good way to deal with it. You shouldn't be able to, if you're going to do limited trades, you do it like Warframe or something, where you limit it trades, let's say, by daily lock. So let's say you only get like 5 trades a day, and that's just everyone. You only get 5 things a day, and you just have to deal with that. If they don't want people flipping and that's not how they want to handle the game, fine. But the idea that you can pay for more and you can literally pay and get unlimited trades within the 8 hours. So they aren't really trying to stop the bot farming. All they want to do is get paid for people bot farming more. Is my opinion on it. So that's what they're doing to fix their problem, which is stupid. And the good news, as far as for Deathball goes, the basically I'm just going to go over the history of tower defense games very briefly. Anime Adventures was the big tower defense game that everyone wanted to play. It died because it had a DMCA issue and they never brought the game back. And that when that game died, now all of those players are looking for a new game. Anime Defenders is one of the games trying to get that player base, but Anime Vanguards is coming out in about a week, maybe longer, who knows, might get delayed. I heard from a content creator that in their like YouTube exclusive channel, they heard a week. So it's coming out relatively soon. And Anime Vanguards is supposed to be the direct successor to Anime Adventures. They have one of the lead devs from Anime Adventures working on that game. So I expect Anime Vanguards to get the player base back because it's the closest to Anime Adventures that's going to exist. And then if that game doesn't succeed, Anime Reborn is created by a bunch of the tower defense YouTubers that have done tower defense games for years, or maybe a year, I don't know how long. But a lot of them were Anime Adventures players themselves, so they know what makes Anime Adventures good and what they enjoyed. So it's a question of can they execute and hire the correct people? If they execute it properly, they should know what makes a tower defense game good. The reason Anime Defenders realistically won't succeed is because both of those games have a much better like staff behind it. No shade to Anime Defenders, but logically, the team, well, people from the team of the favorite game are going to do better than a random team trying to recreate what that team did. It's just not going to happen. And then the other game is a bunch of tower defense people that have played tower defense games for thousands of hours really know what they're talking about and what's good and what makes a game good. Sub basically just added, the base gameplay loop of a tower defense game. They added a summoning system as basically their replacement for gem and Robux packs. They added raids as a replacement for Deathball raids. So it's basically copy pasting the Deathball formula and changing it into a tower defense game, which I believe doesn't work and won't work compared to an actual tower defense game designed from the ground up. That's my theory. I think I'm going to be right. I'm not saying Anime Defenders won't have a player base, but I expect the majority of the players, to like Reborn or Vanguards more than Defenders. So I'm expecting Defenders to lose probably over half of its player base, even if it's just 25% go to Reborn, 25% go to Vanguard. It's inevitable that Defenders is going to have less players because the hype will fall off and then the hype will build for the other two games. So we'll just have to see what happens. And the only reason this matters as Deathball players is if Anime Defenders ends up being less profitable, it's more likely that Sub would diversify and work on both games at the same time. Or if Anime Defenders flopped completely, then obviously he would be forced to come back to Deathball, or he would have to create a new project. So who knows what happens, but that's basically the state of where tower defense games are, which is only important to us as Anime Defenders players because Sub picked his new project as a tower defense game. So I want to give people context of what he's dealing with Anime Defenders so they can understand why he's doing what he's doing because he isn't being very open about communication, and that realistically is what he has to deal with, which it's not going to be easy for him to make animated vendors successful, but that's where they're at. So I just wanted to talk about that, talk about the market stuff. And as far as my channel goes, I'm probably not going to be making more animated fenders content or very little because it's not that interesting and I'm not that passionate about making content on that game. And the thing is with Deathball, I want to make more content. There just isn't that much that I haven't covered. I can kind of recover the same things in more depth or go over some like niche small things that I haven't talked about, but I've covered the game pretty well as like a blanket. So even if I haven't directly talked about something, I've talked about trading stuff enough to where if you watch my videos, it's pretty easy to tell what I'd recommend off of what I've talked about. Like I've talked about graded items, I've talked about demand of items in general. I've talked about every single mythic at some point, and most of them haven't really changed. Like the perspective of like demand hasn't changed too much. It changes a bit every now and then, but for the most part it doesn't change too much. And with my reset videos, like even if I don't make them weekly, it doesn't change a ton. And by the graph you can see how it's changed since I made the last video. So that's pretty much it. Also, if you ever have a question about like a price or a, change, or you're wondering about something, if you put a comment in YouTube, I always read my comments and try to get to people as fast as I can. So it depends. Sometimes it takes me a while, but just because life, but that's pretty much it. So have a good one.